Said, I'm going to show you one more technique, which I think is really cool, which is using found sound as a percussion sound. So I'm going to go back to the device, the drum rack here, and I'll play you some of these found sounds I have. So I have this. This is some wood ratcheting. These are both contact mic sounds. So these are literally just totally abstract sounds. These are not gonna, these are not drum hits. They're not even, crazy drum hits or elaborate tabla hits or anything like that. These are just sounds that probably should never have been music, and we're going to make them into music. So the key, in my opinion, for using found sounds in your drum beats is that, and this is going to be my opinion as well, so take it with a grain of salt, is that I like to do it in the higher frequencies just because I think that they work better as little details rather than trying to underpin the entire track. Of course, if you're Bjork, you can do whatever you want, but this is just kind of a rule of thumb for me. So I like to keep them in the higher frequencies, almost replacing kind of going where the hi-hats would go. So you'll notice that I'm kind of do similar things with these found sounds I would do with hi-hats. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to basically just repeat them. Repeat one really quickly. And what I just did, if you didn't notice, if you just take a pen and just drag it across the MIDI clip, it'll just make whatever, it'll just draw in notes of the subdivision that you have selected. So you can select the subdivision pressing Command 1 or Command 2, and then you just paint them across it. It's very useful for hi-hats, right? So this is a very easy way here to add a little bit of... This is a great way, in my opinion, to add some groove, if you will. I hate that word, but to add a little bit more of humanity, if you will, to the track, because these found sounds are never going to actually be in the rhythm that you want. So the key is just to repeat them. And now what I do is I hone in on a section that I find useful. So I just allow it to repeat, and I just drag the start time. So I just kind of try it out. So this is, so we have the whole range here. So we have some that are going to sound really... So I like to, this is just, and once again, this is a personal aesthetic, I like to keep it just on this side of being sort of unhinged. So I think that just sounds weird, so I want to just take it back a little bit. But I don't want to use this. If I just wanted that, I would just use a shaker sound, right? You can mess with the transition if you want. So like I said, you can really mess with this as much as you want. So I'm kind of looking around for what I'd like to do in this part. So I'm gonna go with this, and I'm gonna I'm going to have that going on here, and let's just add a little bit more variation. So right now it's, so let's see what happens if I just do one of these. Every once in a while I'll have a longer one. That's kind of cool, right? So you know, so you can see that this is totally serendipitous here. I did not plan this, right? But you can see how when you start doing this stuff, you can make anything sound good with repetition. So it's one of those things where it's a really good opportunity just to create some sort of repetition and see what arises, right? So it's a combination of your own creativity and just the chance event of what this random sample of wood scraping on whatever sounds like. So you can really play around with it. So here we go. So we've got this stuff, and let's go ahead and layer that with some more traditional hi-hats. You know, so we just go ahead and do that. And then we just repeat this over here. And like I said, this is all the first draft here, so. And there we go. Now we start to get a little bit more interesting with our drum racks, and we're not confined to just what we've been handed. And clearly, we can also add a whole bunch of effects to this, and we're going to talk about effects a lot more next week. But I wanted just to focus on the device rack and really just the rack itself, what the devices themselves, and not the effects so much. Because once you get the effects in there, you can really go nuts. But I will tell you this. For stuff like this found sound stuff, I like to move them more to the sides of the stereo spectrum. I don't like to keep them in the middle so much. So kick, snare, I'd say keep it in the center. Don't mess around too much unless you're getting really arty. Definitely these sorts of details, these little pieces, the candy, you can mess with that a lot. So I like to actually just take an auto pan and just move it around the stereo spectrum. So you'll notice what I did is I dropped it on this this device rack that has this wood scraping sample on it. And I'm just going to go ahead and turn this up a little bit, and I'm just going to move this and I wouldn't move it around so much that it's distracting. That's why I lowered the amount a little bit. But now what it's doing is it's creating more space. Anyway, that's it for the office hours. I hope this gives you some ideas of different things you can do with device racks, and especially with drum racks, and I hope that this comes in handy in your productions. So go ahead and send me any questions that you have, and definitely send me any productions that you make using these tricks, all right? And I will see you guys next week.